Welcome back, everybody. It's great to see you again. This month, we will be talking about how we can preserve and protect our ecosystems. Why do we need to protect our ecosystems? We learned how ecosystems can change over time, and that if they change too much and too fast, some organisms won't survive. We learned how humans can change ecosystems. Sometimes humans help ecosystems, like when we burn prairies to keep them healthy. Sometimes humans aren't good for ecosystems, like when we degrade too many wetlands. Some organizations and tribal groups are working to protect wetlands. Remember that before settlers arrived here, many Native American tribes called this their home, including the Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Kansa, Kiowa, Osage, Pawnee, and Wichita. While many of those tribes were forced to leave, other tribes were moved here, like the Kickapoo and Potawatomi. In recent years, the Prairie Band Potawatomi have undertaken several projects that protect wetlands in Kansas. This is Dr. Robin Wall Kimmerer. She studies ecosystems and is a member of the Potawatomi Nation. Her grandfather grew up here. Dr. Kimmerer talks about how in Potawatomi, people see themselves as part of nature. Why do you think they think that they are part of nature? The traditions and rituals of the Potawatomi people emphasize humans' relationships with and dependence upon nature. They treat birds, trees, herbs, bears, and land as persons who must be nurtured and sustained. Like other organisms that live in the ecosystem, humans make their homes in the ecosystems, eat animals and plants that live in that ecosystem, and drink the water that flows through that ecosystem. What makes you feel like you are a part of the ecosystem where you live? Dr. Kimmerer talks about the importance of reciprocity. What she means is that if you receive something that you need, it's important to give something back when you can. Sometimes that is as simple as being grateful that your ecosystem is providing for your needs. Sometimes we decide to do more. One really important thing you have done all year is to learn about the ecosystems of Kansas, and you have done a great job. Another way we can help our ecosystems is to use what we need and not use more than what we need. For example, when I get a drink of water or brush my teeth, I turn off the water as soon as my glass is full. Or when I have wet my toothbrush, then I turn off the water till I need it again. Can you think of another example of using only what we need? When we need to use things made out of metal, paper, and plastic, we can reuse or recycle them. Now let's think about this. Have you ever watched a flower to see who visits it? It might take a little while, but if you sit quietly near a flower, you are likely to see a visitor come and maybe get a little something sweet. The visitor might leave pollen or take pollen to the next plant. The pollen is what makes the plant start forming seeds. Plants need pollinators to make their seeds to make more plants. So another thing we can do to help our ecosystem is to plant gardens that support the insects that pollinate beautiful flowering plants around us and the fruits and vegetables we eat. We can even grow some of our own food. One thing that some people are doing here in Kansas at the Land Institute is to grow food in a way that protects the soil. They are working to grow food in fields that are like prairies, so lots of organisms can survive in and around where we grow our food. Why are they doing this? Many of our crops, like wheat, only live for a year. Then they are harvested and the soil is tilled. This isn't good because when there are no plants growing in the soil can blow away. That is especially true in windy places like Kansas. The soil has the nutrients that plants need to grow. When it blows away, it is harder to grow crops. The Land Institute is working to grow crops that are like prairie plants, that keep the soil and the soil organisms healthy. Some people help our ecosystems by volunteering to help clean our rivers, streams, and lakes. The river keepers do that. They also teach people about our rivers and streams and the organisms that live in them. Other people volunteer to help restore prairies or wetlands or forests. Volunteering means anybody can help if they want to. You may decide to help by volunteering when you can. Some scientists study the prairies, forests, wetlands, and the organisms that live in them so we can all understand what we can do to keep them healthy. Dr. Tyrone Hayes determined that one of the chemicals farmers were using here in Kansas and other places hurt the frogs living near their fields and could even hurt people. You might decide to help our ecosystems by being a scientist or by helping scientists with their work. There are many projects that need citizen scientists like you and your classmates. There are so many ways to help. Summer is coming. Let's think about water again. Because we need water to drink, to grow the food we eat, and to wash and play in, we can be careful with the water we use and just use what we need. We can make sure that when we play in the water or go fishing, that we pick up after ourselves. We can also volunteer to help clean up with organizations like the River Keepers. We can learn more about how our ecosystems help us and how we can help protect them, like learning where the water we use comes from and where it goes when we are finished using it. We have really enjoyed working with you this year. If you want to learn more about ways to preserve and protect our ecosystems, or just keep learning about them, you can find books at your local library. Hi, I'm Tara. Thanks for a great year.
Hi, I'm Peggy, and it was wonderful working with you.
Hola, soy Aida Hernández y fue un placer trabajar con ustedes este año.
Hola, yo soy Claudia y disfruté mucho la experiencia de trabajar con ustedes.
Hi, I'm Eleanor from the Natural History Museum. It's been wonderful working with you, and I hope that you have a great summer.